Hello again, this will be part two. So we ended with this example. If you find attention motivating and you've been with a lot of people uh, during a preceding period of time, say a weekend, and then you go back to work and we would expect you to engage in fewer behaviors that have been reinforced with social attention, simply because the period of time preceding the observation context, Monday at work, you've been inundated with attention. All right? Now let's move to what research has found out about this particular issue concerning attention. Say a child engages in particular behavior, or say maladaptive behavior, that's maintained by the function of attention. We know that if left alone for long periods of time, that child will engage in higher rates of attention-getting behaviors when placed into contact with other people. And that makes sense, right? We could say in that case that the child has been deprived um, of attention during these periods of an absence of attention. We take the same child, put him in a context with other people. However, and now we give non-contingent attention at regular intervals throughout the day. So say every 15 minutes, regardless of whether he's exhibiting maladaptive or appropriate behavior, we will provide, say, 30 seconds to a minute of individual intense attention. All right? In this context, we will notice lower rates of attention-getting behavior. Okay? That's been proven in research. So, with those examples, let me just sum up then. So we have food deprivation results in higher rates of behaviors that have historically been reinforced with food. When satiated with food, we see lower rates of behaviors that have been reinforced with food. And attention getting, if deprived of attention, we see high rates of behavior that have been reinforced with attention. If given lots of attention prior to the observational period, we will then see during the observational period lower rates of behavior that have been maintained by attention. So notice in our three-term paradigm here, the consequence remains the same, the behavior remains the same, and the antecedent remains the same. For example, the antecedent for the rat is being in the chamber with the lever. The antecedents for the human examples would be sitting at the dinner table with family, with food, or being at the work context with lots of people around. Those are SDs for engaging in the social behaviors that then are reinforced by attention. So the ABC paradigm in all of these examples remain the same. But what's changing is this thing, this event, or these stimuli like extra food and water or extra attention prior to the antecedent that has been evoking these behaviors. So it's something before the antecedent occurs is an motivational operation. And as you recall from in the chapter, the original term was establishing operations. And these are any environmental variables, any stimulus, object, or event that either A, alters the effectiveness of some stimulus, object, or event as a reinforcer, and B, alters the current frequency of all behavior that has been reinforced by that stimulus, object, or event. So it's any event, any stimulus that will alter the power of a reinforcer. Okay? And you could say simultaneously or because of that, then that the establishing operation will alter the frequency of all behavior that's been reinforced by the stimulus, object, or event. So again, food, lots of food, will result in behaviors that have been reinforced with food. No, let me back up. So if you have food as the reinforcer, any environmental variable say lots of food will alter the effectiveness of food as a reinforcer. And that means then that behaviors that have been reinforced with food, the frequency of that behavior will be altered. And in that particular case, with lots of food as the event preceding the occasion, the opportunity to do the behavior, behavior will go down, the rate will go down. Okay? Now, the book makes the point that establishing operation is a bit of an older term. It used to be the umbrella term. Now, motivating operation is the more current umbrella term. But then we will have, we'll still use establishing operation in this context. I think it's on the next slide here. No, it's in a moment. So think about MOs this way. MOs establish whether a behavior will be affected by a consequence. Okay? So the old term establishing operation, think new term motivating operation, but think also a way to understand MOs is that the MO event, the stimulus, the MO object, or the MO event will establish or dictate whether an organism's behavior will be affected by a consequence. Now, there's two types of MOs now, and this is the way we're talking these currently. Establishing operations and abolishing operations. Establishing operations will increase the likelihood that of a behavior being increased when followed by that particular consequence. And an abolishing operation will be any stimulus, object, or event that will decrease the likelihood of the behavior being increased when followed by the consequence. The 5 minutes is up. I'm going to stop here, and then we'll pick right up off of this slide.